So much. Well, an interactive experience called Heart of Cognac is taking place right here in Calgary. So that means Remy Martin's brand ambassador Philippe Grambois is here in town. Actually, I shouldn't even say that because you actually do live here in Calgary.
I do, yes. I call Calgary home.
I can't believe we have a cognac ambassador right here in Calgary.
You absolutely do, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. So first of all, what does your job entail? Besides the obvious, and where do I put in my resume? That's kind of what I want to know.
Yeah, mostly it's education. Mostly it's teaching people about cognac, and it's really teaching them about, you know, how to love the spirit and how to understand its history. So. And
the thing is, for me, like I know a lot about wine and I know a lot about margaritas, but I do not know anything about cognac. So can you just give us a quick one-on-one? Because not a lot of people do know a lot about it, right?
You're not alone. You're absolutely not alone. The reason why we're doing this experience, and I think, you know, one misnomer is that this is made from grapes, and so this is made from a wine. Right. We first take this beautiful wine and we distill it twice, and then we turn it into what's called an eau de vie. And the eau de vies are then blended together between two regions in France called Grand Champagne and Petit Champagne, and that combines to make what we call fine champagne cognac. So you blend these beautiful eau de vies together, we work with our farmers very closely, and then eventually we get this beautiful product.
And essentially it is a brandy, but you get to call it this cognac champagne for a very specific reason, right?
Exactly, yeah. It's the regionality. Like many appellations that manage essentially different grape varietals, just like that, here in Cognac, we have this incredible appellation that manages all the legality and the terms that we use in order to promote it, just like what you see here. VSOP is a universal term. So.
Right. I was going to ask you about that, because in Cognac, there's very specific terms I've seen. Again, I don't know a lot about, but over here we have the VSOP, over here we have the XO. There's a lot of different letters involved, and what do those mean and what do they tell us?
It's really the age statement. It's really just like, you know, on a bottle of scotch where it says 18 year. This VSOP means very superior old pale.
Oh, okay, great.
Which means it must be at least 4 years old. And then it goes in our case up to as high as 14 years old. And then XO is just as easy as extra old. And so again, it's a bit of a Scottish term that everyone has adopted, but really it just relates to how long it spends in casks.
I can manage that. Okay, so this is the thing. When it comes to cognac, I thought the real purists will only drink it straight, but you're going to make us a little cocktail here. So
absolutely.
As an ambassador, are you a fan of the cocktails, or do you just have it straight, neat in a glass, or what do you prefer?
To be honest, it depends on the occasion. And so if it's a celebration, definitely neat as a toast, just like a fine glass of wine. But to be honest, a cocktail is really one of the best ways. And so
what are we doing? I can smell so many different flavors already. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so some of the notes that come from cognac is really, it comes from those wines. And so in this case, I'm using an apricot jelly. And so just a little bit of apricot jelly, because there's this beautiful apricot note that's in our cognac.
And sorry, this is an old-fashioned we're making, but is this a bit of a twist on a traditional old-fashioned?
It is, exactly, yeah. So old-fashioned is a little bit of sugar, a couple dashes of bitters, and then your main spirit. And so we're using a couple dashes of Abbott's bitters.
And what are bitters anyway? You hear them in very fancy drinks, but I never really know what exactly they are.
Yeah, mostly they are, you know, they're tinctures. They're really ways to concentrate flavor. And so they used to be, that gentleman who's on that bottle there, they used to be medicines. And so eventually they became onto the bar, and then through Prohibition they gained a lot of recognition because they were able to flavor really badly tasting spirits.
Listen, you're my kind of doctor. So, okay, what else are you putting in there?
So this is just cognac. It's very easy. You pick your spirit. So in this case we're picking our fine VSOP. So we've added a little bit of the sugar, the apricot jelly into the bottom, a couple dashes of bitters, and then just stirred with a little bit of water. And really that's it. You know, in the morning I don't like it on ice. I like it a little...
In the morning? How often are you drinking this?
Well, remember, it's my job. So,
I know.
But here we are, and this is just a delicious way to sort of get yourself into cognac if you've not had cognac in the past. Adds a little bit of sweetness to it. Beautiful aromatics.
I can't believe how much I'm smelling here. It's so beautiful. Can you talk to? Oh yeah, you're going to finish it off, right?
Yeah.
Look at me. Just digging right in. So what do you have going on there?
So here's just the orange oils. You just want to express them onto the top, and it's very subtle. The oils are really where all of the flavor is, and so you express them on top, put it into there, and now you can get more of those aromatics that come out of the cognac.
And so this would be a cocktail. This is a before dinner type of a drink.
To be honest, this is my everyday drink, and so this is you know, you really have to go with your favorite, but absolutely I would recommend this right before dinner.
Is there a big I guess rule when it comes to glasses? Because you always see those like short little brandy glasses on the stem, but you kind of have a stemless here, so does it matter when it comes to cognac?
Well, this is actually called an old-fashioned glass, and so it actually was a time when there were two types of drinking, new-fashioned and old-fashioned, and new-fashioned had stems on the glasses, and old-fashioned had no stems. And so you'd walk into your bar and you'd say, I'd love a 2-finger old-fashioned, and he'd know that you'd want it in a small cup and that you wanted it to be 2 fingers in height.
So cool.
So very much with the history, and it goes very much to the history of our brand as well, just very interlaced with these great stories and great storytelling. So it's been fantastic.
Philippe, we're so excited to have you here in our city.
Yeah.
Now that we know that, we're probably going to invite you back here every week. I
Absolutely,
hope you understand
yeah.
that. Thank you so much for being here. Also, if you want to find out